Welcome to SVG-TV's News and Sports for Tuesday, November 12, 2013. I'm Carlo Cato, and these are the details. To commemorate its first anniversary, the Financial Services Authority is hosting two workshops, one of which was held earlier today at the Methodist Church Hall in Kingstown. Today's regulatory workshop was held under the theme Promoting Stability and Economic Growth. And Executive Director of the FSA, Sharda Ballers, says tomorrow's workshop will focus on issues and insights on credit unions in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and the larger OECS region. Ballers adds that the FSA felt it was appropriate to mark its first anniversary by hosting the workshops to engage stakeholders in discussions on matters of mutual and topical interest pertaining to the financial services sector, the regulatory regime in SVG, and the roles in promoting stability and economic growth. Meanwhile, in declaring the workshop open, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves says the FSA has done a remarkable job in its first year and thanked the authority particularly for its work in stabilizing the Building and Loan Association.
We need to have a modern building societies law, and that is also in the pipeline. There are some amendments which have been made to it through the provisions of the FSA, but it needs a thorough overhaul so that what the FSA administers and oversees is a more modern piece of legislation. We have fashioned the FSA to be genuinely independent, and if you see the criteria required for membership of the board, you would see that they are very strong, very tough, very robust criteria. And I personally take, as Chairman of Cabinet, my responsibility very seriously in ensuring that we have very good people on the board. Persons experienced, stuffed with integrity, independent-minded.
Sharing regional experiences for informed decision-making for climate resilience is among the objectives of a three-day workshop being hosted here. The Caribbean Disaster Risk Management and Climate Change Adaptation Data for Decision-Making workshop is a collaborative effort between the Nature Conservancy and the National Emergency Management Organization, NEMO. World Bank representative Bishwa Pandey said they have been making preparations for the workshop for 6 months, and that they've been working with several other countries in the region to share their experience in terms of natural disaster risk management.
When we talk about disaster risk management, it's not a single community or single country's problem. It's a problem of, it's by nature, it's a global problem. So it's an opportune moment that we are here, not only learning or applying techniques and tools, but also sharing our experience on managing disasters.
Pandey further outlined what participants can expect from the three-day workshop taking place at the NIS conference room.
You will have opportunity to listen from your colleagues from different countries what they are doing in terms of data collections, as well as how they are using that data in different aspects of their work. And this could be really interesting for some of your work that you are doing, and especially applying that back to your work when you get back to your respective offices. As you know, the challenges we face as a global nature, like changing the climate, adapting to this change in climate, and there are a lot of unknowns. And looking at this, from the last 2 or 3 years, the World Bank has kind of realized that we need to share data. Those data needs to have access, as well as share this knowledge.
Meantime, Minister of Housing Montgomery Daniel extended gratitude to all the organizations involved in the workshop, which he says is timely.
Very important as a component of this project is a regional platform for hazard and risk evaluation and the applications for improved decision making here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And I believe, like all the Eastern Caribbean countries, I believe that there has been provision for regional collaboration for capacity building and knowledge building around data management, risk analysis, climate change adaptation planning, and piloting approach to build a more climate resilient environment.
Daniel noted that it is important for persons to understand where they are and what can be done as a people as it relates to the natural disaster management.
I believe those of us who would have been living here in St. Vincent for the last 30 or 40 years, we may have examined what would have been taking place along the coastline of St. Vincent. There is no doubt that there would have been severe erosion, and in some cases the government had to relocate several homeowners.
Vincentians are being urged to take responsibility for their own health. We have more on that when the local stories continue on SVG-TV's Evening News after these messages. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Evening News. While the government is said to be doing its part in the prevention and control of diabetes, Vincentians are being urged to take their own health seriously and to do their part in curbing this non-communicable disease. The appeal comes from Minister of Health, Wellness and the Environment, Clayton Bergen, making his address ahead of World Diabetes Day on November 14th. Bergen stressed the importance of people taking the responsibility for their own health, noting that many persons have family members or friends who are living with the disease and they know the impact of it.
It is therefore important and necessary for everyone to be aware of diabetes as a serious public health problem, diabetes risk and warning signs, how to respond to diabetes and who to turn to, how to manage diabetes and take control, the fact that early diagnosis saves life, how to prevent or delay the onset of diabetes. I am aware that the best results happen when we work together to help promote and protect our health. And so we need to get everyone thinking and talking healthily.
Yesterday, 5 academic institutions received their registration status to operate here by the National Accreditation Board. The ceremony was held in collaboration with the board and the Minister of Education. 16 local educators also received certificates and are now recognized as CARICOM-trained external evaluators. Chairperson of the National Accreditation Board, the NAB, Dr. Rosalind Ambrose, said the registration of these tertiary institutions is one step closer in the accreditation process towards ensuring quality in higher education offered by these institutions.
Each is required to reveal their physical and academic capabilities with appropriate infrastructure and facilities, their governance, their faculty structure, student performance and support services. Each institution is required to undertake self-study, self-assessment exercises, which provide introspection of the implementation of their policies, practices and procedures, and should reveal their strengths, their weaknesses or deficiencies in the continued pursuit of providing higher education comparable to their counterparts in other countries.
Dr. Ambrose further states that the accreditation process also involves an evaluation site visit by a team of assessors, usually comprising of local and regional personnel.
It is this scrutiny by external evaluators that is intended to limit the prejudice and biases that can easily infiltrate the process and delay the overhaul of shortcomings within the institution. It is this element, therefore, which provides the second header of today's ceremony, which is the distribution of certificates to a number of local external evaluators who have been trained with the necessary tools for carrying out such an exercise.
Speaking on behalf of all the institutions which received their registration status, that is, Kelvin Malcolm commended the Accreditation Board for their work.
On behalf of the tertiary institutions, I must say, the 5 of us that have been recognized here, must have been doing something right over a short period of time. I would therefore like to take this opportunity on behalf of the institution to express our heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Ambrose and her team, Mrs. Decima Hamilton, and the members of our council, our skeleton staff, for all the work that they have been able to do to achieve this exercise to its completion, and to assist us, the institutions, as we embark on the path of full accreditation.
The Interior Zone Community Organization, ISCO, wrapped up its 6th anniversary activities with an awards ceremony earlier today. The ceremony was used as an avenue to reward persons who made the week of activities a success. ISCO Field Officer Nevlin Antwine outlined that over the years, the organization has done a lot of work in a number of areas, including health and family support, as well as cultural revival and capacity building, all in keeping with the aim and objective of enhancing lives one at a time.
In highlights of the week of activity was our 2nd Independence Education Fair held in Mespo, which was supported by all of you presented here. As a matter of fact, it was really you who made that activity the success that it was.
ISCO Managing Director Nigel Morgan spoke of their annual education fair held in Mesopotamia, a fair he says will continue for some years to come.
For those of you who realized that the rain was coming and stopping, that is also an aspect of the program. Last year it happened. This year it happened. We don't know what's going to happen next year. But it seems as if it is being blessed by the Almighty. And hold up, and then so blessed and blessed to show us that although it's raining, no rain or sun can stop the celebration. So if you see it is raining next year the 9th, it's not going to stop. Just get your umbrella and come. There's going to be an education.
At today's award ceremony, SVG-TV News was one of the recipients for the best media coverage of ISCO's week of activities. A consultation will be held here tomorrow on the Global Environment Facility GEF Small Grants Program for the utilization of funds here. The national consultation, which will be held at the Fisheries Division Conference Room from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., will see stakeholders discussing proposals and ideas for a country program strategy document for the next 3 years for SVG. In 2010, the GEF made a decision to create individual country programs as a strategy to build local capacity in the focal areas and to directly support communities on location in each country. The GEF SGP is expected to be country-driven and operated based on priorities in SVG.